This is Tusculum College football, and this is the Jerry Odom Show. The Jerry Odom Show is brought to you in part by your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1947. Sodexo, proud food supplier of Tusculum College. By Creekside Markets, stop in and pick up a Hunt Brothers pizza today. By Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics. And brought to you in part by Comcast. The Jerry Odom Show begins now. The 2017 campaign has kicked off. Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Jerry Odom Show as the Tusculum Pioneer football team opens up the season with North Greenville University. When the Pioneers kick off last Thursday, it opened up the 69th campaign for Pioneer football, and since the reinstatement in 1991, every consecutive year, basically since then. For Jerry Odom, he starts his second consecutive year at the helm of the Pioneers. For this particular showdown between North Greenville University, it's a Crusader team that last year went all the way to the basic regional final. When you take a look at the Super 2 region, they played North Alabama. They were shut out for the first time in 86 games when they lost 38-0. But they returned 10 of their 11 starters and 16 of their total 22 starters on offense and defense. Plus, Matt Gravely is back as their starting kicker, who was obviously a big part of the contest last Thursday in Tigerville, South Carolina. So not to even speculate, this is a team that is going to be one of the best teams out of this region. A huge showdown, especially with a Pioneer team with a lot of uncertainty, not necessarily for this coaching staff, but for everybody surrounding Pioneer football. New faces and new names at quarterback, at running back, some wide receivers, some guys switching from the defensive side of things to the offensive side. And on defense, basically at the defensive line back from a year ago. Some guys out due to injury in game number 1. But in the middle of the defense, we met new faces. In the secondary, we have some still young kids, but still a Pioneer team with a lot of question marks. Will Tommy is gone as the kicker. Esparza is in. Hunter Cantrell is back as the punter. So familiar faces on special teams. But all in all, a pretty decent game 1. Although the Pioneers did go to Tigerville, well, they have not won at Yount Stadium ever. It would be their 4th consecutive game with the Crusaders, and hopefully, if they win, they would end a 4-game losing streak. Didn't happen that way. It's 5 consecutive now for the Tigers, but in a come-from-behind fashion, North Greenville knocks off the Pioneers by a final score of 34-33. In this contest, it was Matt Gravely who accounted for 2 early misses from field goals. He hit a 29-yarder in the waning seconds to win 34-33, a game that featured 7 lead changes, 4 in the fourth quarter, as the teams used big plays to gain the lead. Will Hunter is somebody that was a focal point, obviously, as the quarterback. He had an exceptional game last year, throwing for nearly 300 yards against the Pioneers. It wasn't too bad on this particular game 1. He went 17 of 38. Not as accurate as he was last year, for 275 yards and 2 touchdowns, including one that went for 77 yards. Alex Ogle is one of those new faces at quarterback for the Pioneers. A very productive first start for Tusculum. He went 22 of 35 for 292 yards and 3 scores. One of those guys I was telling you about, the converted defensive back, Evan Gates. He had 8 catches for 91 yards and the go-ahead touchdown late in the fourth quarter for the Pioneers in his very first game as a receiver. And an all-conference type receiver in Evan Altizer had 5 catches, 66 yards, and a score. Still the best receiver by average per catch for a career in Evan Altizer. Maxwell Joseph, the new running back for the Pioneers, led the ground attack with 48 yards on 18 carries. And defensively, we did have one of those special moments in the game, a defensive return for a touchdown that was set up by Matt Simon. He led the Pioneers with 6 tackles, including 2 for loss and 2 pass breakups, and forcing the fumble. It's a Pioneer football team that didn't necessarily get the W in their first game of the season, but they probably did send a message, at least through the South Atlantic Conference and into this region, is that they're not that team that they were from a year ago. Don't just take my word for it. We'll take the guy's word for it. That's Jerry Odom. He's joining us next when the Jerry Odom Show continues. Your Greenville Light and Power System, an electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net. Welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers opened up the season on the road in Tigerville, South Carolina, with a 34-33 loss. I would say, though, some shockwaves probably through this region. A North Greenville team anticipated to be one of the front runners in this region, too. So, joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. It is a Pioneer team, a lot of question marks going in, and I think we had some of those questions answered on Thursday night.
You know, I felt pretty good going into the game. You can usually tell if you think you got a solid team. Last year, this time, I was like, I had absolutely no idea what we're going to look like. I felt like we had a chance to win the football game. Now, I knew we were going to have to play very well because you got a North Greenville team that's got 10 returning starters on offense, a very, very good quarterback, 3 very good receivers, and a very good offensive line. And then on defense, their whole front 7 was back. They had and 1 DB, so they had 3 DBs to replace. But that's really about it. And kicking game was back and solid. So I knew we were going to play a solid team. Coach Farrington does an outstanding job there. But I felt like if we went and played our game and did the things that I was seeing in practice from our offense, from our defense, that we could have a chance to win the game. And I kept telling the kids we got to take them in deep water. And what I mean by that is be close in the fourth quarter and hopefully drown them. Unfortunately, they didn't drown. They were up to the task. Sometimes when you get a team like that that's supposed to win big, 17-point spread, whatever, you take them into deep water, they start puckering up a little bit, and they didn't do that, so give them credit.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights. We'll break down the offense here in a moment. We're going to basically do this by starting with the offense first in this one. We're going to pick up action in the second quarter. It took a little while, I think, to get going, but I think what Brian Ferguson did was a tremendous job. He adjusted to what the Crusaders did to him, and right away you put Ogle in a situation here in the second quarter where he keeps it, and I think it just blew their defensive minds. And that's really, I think, the play that set up this whole drive.
Well, I think, Alex is a good enough athlete to run the zone read concepts, and I think we did a nice job with it. And then we come back with the next run, an outside zone. Shippy does a nice job cutting it back. I thought Brian called an excellent game, by the way, all the way around. Come back, throw a 3-step game pass. Really good catch there by Shaq Harris, our new tight end, who I think is going to be very, very good for us. Come back, kind of a crazy play there. They get pressure right there on Corey Gilliam a little bit. Good job pulling it down. We tried to get it out there, but the biggest thing we try to tell them, never make a bad play worse. Not every play is going to be perfect. Come out here, slide protection. Shippy's late getting out there. Alex does kind of a Houdini act underneath the 5 technique. Rolls out here to his right. Evan Gates was running a seam route, broke it off. Saw us was in trouble, came back to him. Alex throws a back shoulder throw. Evan comes back and gets it, makes one guy miss, gets all the way down to about the 3-yard line. And we've been seeing that, a lot, in practice and everything else. So that didn't surprise me at all. Alex is just he's a good enough athlete to put himself in those situations. So we come back, running a lead play with Maxwell Joseph. Good block by Boney at the point of attack, and Maxwell can kind of get 2 yards by himself if we get him any kind of space. So that was a good score early on. So with the Pioneers down 14-0, you answer. What you don't see here is the defense responding with a strip fumble return for a touchdown by D. Alford. So the Pioneers actually tie it up. They would trail in the game 17-14, but then start to put some things together. And I think it was just kind of, you flip the field just a little bit with your special teams, and then Maxwell Joseph puts you in some good situations. Yeah, get about 7 yards here on a little ISO. Good block again there by Boney in the offensive line. Come back, hit vertical, get about 4, get a first down off a split zone look. Maxwell's still got a long way to go learn the offense and everything, but we think he's going to be a really good player for us. Come back, hit a play action, and do a nice job throwing it over the top right here. Evan Altizer makes a good adjustment to the ball. Nice to see that ball get there, though. Right. That's good job faking it, good protection. And Evan, like I said, he gets on top of the guy, is able to adjust it because the guy's in a trail position, can't knock it down. Evan comes up with the play for a big pass and a touchdown.
Yeah, Evan's an all-conference type wideout return specialist for this Pioneer team. So they take that 20-17 lead into the locker room. We go to the second half with the Pioneers really coming out, and I think North Greenville did a good job adjusting defensively as well.
I think they took our run game away a little bit. They started run blitzing a lot more early on to kill those ISOs and outside zones, and then we started really basically just throwing three-step game, trying to get into a rhythm because that's really what they were giving us at the time. They were playing some one-high, three-roll. We felt like we could just throw quick outs, take what they gave us. Maybe one guy would miss a tackle. Sure enough, we get a couple first downs, and then that's what happened. One guy misses a tackle. I think Evan breaks one off for 13, 14 yards, maybe coming up right here on a again, a good throw by Alex. He's very, the difference between this year and last year is we're putting the ball where we get yak yardage, and that's really the big difference. So we kind of get that going. Then we run the outside zone, pretty well blocked up front for about 7 yards. You get Maxwell ahead of steam, he's getting 6 or 7. And that's where, he's got to learn pass protections and other things that go along with it. But we think he's going to be pretty good. Again, throw one out here to Evan Gates, who I think had 9 catches for 81 yards. Good game for him. You see the fog starting to roll in late in the game. Come back here, and we kept throwing it in the flat, throwing the flat, and they finally got tired of giving it the flat, and they go cover 2. And Brian basically tells Alex, hey, listen, they may be in cover 2. We're going to hit Keandre Banks on a hole shot. Take a look at the hole shot first before you throw it. Keandre was there, comes up with the ball, scores, big play.
I think it's one of the better throws that I've seen probably in the last 10 years for a Pioneer quarterback as well. He anticipated the wide receiver coming open.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more of those. He didn't actually throw the ball probably as well as I've seen him throw it, but I thought did a really nice job. Here, really had a chance to catch this one just a little bit out of bounds on the bench route. Coming back off of play action, come back here, and again, you see they're trying to play some 3-roll, run the ball away from the roll. Again, like to see Corey get out on that safety. If he does, we might still be running, but we get about 5 yards to make a third and manageable right here. Again, take the ball right there in the hole shot, and their safety guy got caught in no man's land here, and Rodnell Cruel gets in there by him, and I still don't know how they didn't call this a touchdown. He never goes out of bounds until the ball crosses the pylon. They discussed it for a long time. Luckily, we were able to get it in anyway. Really nice throw. See, Maxwell almost went the wrong way. That odd front was kind of screwing up protection, but really good throw, good catch, and about a 60-yard completion down to the 1-yard line.
One of the things that the Pioneers offense didn't have last year was the big play against this Crusader team, and you saw a lot of that in the second half. Right.
And come out, we'd run the ISO the first time, really good call by Brian on first down. Comes back, sells the fake, put Evan out in the flat, wide open, touchdown. And, now we feel like, hey, we've kind of done what we said we were going to do. We're going to take these guys in deep water, and we're getting closer to that fourth quarter mark, and we think we got a chance. And then we let a couple big plays go defensively, which is very, very disappointing. But overall, what an improvement for the offense.
That's just it. We take a look at some of the numbers for this. You throw for 292, you run for 61. I think some of that as well. We'll break that down on the offensive line a bit. But new faces for this Pioneer program. It's Alex Ogle, legitimate Division I quarterback that's here at Tusculum. Maxwell Joseph, a legitimate D1 type of a running back, just his style. And Evan Gates, who would have thought, as a defensive back, comes in as a wide receiver and probably has the best set of hands that this team has seen in a little while.
No doubt. And then I think Shaq Harris is going to be even more of a factor going forward. He's a tough matchup at tight end for us. And then obviously you got Evan Altizer still there. And I think, Kevion Broadwater, probably one of our best O-linemen, didn't play in this game, which hurt us at times. They got pressure on Alex. Alex did a nice job staying composed when he did take some hits. We got sacked 4 or 5 times, and I thought he didn't lose it, or he just kind of kept playing the game, which to me is a really nice thing to have in a guy that will take a licking and keep on ticking. Right. You know what I mean? And I think he did a nice job of that too.
And I think just by gauging from some of your reaction probably just an average offensive game for this team. Maxwell's still learning some of the blocking schemes, trying to hit the whole offensive line, not quite there just yet. And Ogle, as you said, you've seen him throw it better. And we're thinking he's throwing it well. So sky's the limit still for this offense.
We definitely left some points out there. Let's just say that. I think one that I know for a fact, we knew they were going to be a dime. And they came out, and we called timeout, and I told Brian, I said, you got 2 downs, because we were a little bit out of field goal range. So we come back, and they stayed in dime, and we got exactly what we wanted. We ran an outside zone, and Shippy fell down. If he doesn't fall down, there's a hole bigger in this room to run through. He would have just been a foot race to the goal line and probably could have won us the game. But, he fell. He was a little too quick with it. But at the end of the day, I like what Brian's doing. I think our kids believe in it. We're getting better. I'm looking forward to getting Kevion back and get some continuity going with that offensive line so we can play a little better there.
Pioneers put up 33 points in the loss to North Greenville. We'll take a look at their defense when the Jerry Odom Show continues after this. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers and the Crusaders of North Greenville University open up the 2017 campaign. We're taking a look at the Pioneers offense. Let's take a look at Jerry's Pioneer defense, and that's one of the things that you have taken over this year as well. And I think you're comfortable in doing that. And if you just be talking with you and saying, I realize I'm the coach, but I'm kind of back in my niche and running defense.
Well, obviously my niche doesn't like giving up 34 points, but we just gave up too many big plays. I mean, that's what it came down to. I mean, when you look at it, we gave up the things we talk about to win games. You don't give up explosion plays. You do a great job of tackling, and you train your eyes. We probably, those 80 plays in the game, 72 times we probably did that exactly right. But those 8, or 7, and they got explosion plays, 2 72-yard, pass and a run off of something very basic. And, I think we had a couple of our younger secondary guys that may have been trying to do too much. Jay did not play his best game, and he knows that. I think sometimes, and it's things I worry about like this, sometimes when you have a kid that's got a lot of success as a freshman, they tend to want to do too much and try to do everything instead of just doing their job. And I think that was a huge case in Jay's case because he was a little bit all over the place. And, we're going to give somebody else an opportunity to compete, and he's going to have to, win that job back, and that's just part of the gig.
Let's take a look at the highlights so that you can go through it. Pioneer defense still very swarming all over the football field. We're going to start with the one pass play, 77 yards. It was their second touchdown of the game, and you kind of ISO'd this on huddle, and you had a couple of guys right there on the line of scrimmage, and I don't think that's probably where they should have been.
Yeah. The Sam linebacker, we'd worked all week on if they zone away, and I want him dropping straight back to help Jay Boyd, on the dig. But Jay's got to stay inside, and he can't squat step on that. And he gets beat inside, and obviously that was an early thing. And really, it was his eyes. It's not he can't play. It's he was looking in the backfield instead of looking at his man. And that's what we mean by training your eyes to look at the proper things. Here, really the same situation. We come out here, though. This is actually a little blitz concept, trap blitz that we were doing. Do a really nice job with that, getting pressure. I think Devin got great pressure on him. Devin and Woodson, excuse me. And I thought we did a really, really nice job with that. They come back. I checked cover 2. We had a blitz on. I checked cover 2, and again, our backside safety, Jay, kind of doing his own thing a little bit, jumped it, and then the guy got past him, and those are the two big, huge plays, and then a run later on. Here, really good job with this, our speed package. put three freshmen in there to rush the passer, Wicker, Gravel, Gandy, and George Lira, and I thought they did a really nice job giving us some speed on the field. We call it our speed package. Come back here, got a bootleg. Again, Jay's got to look at his guy. I mean, it's only a 7-yard gain, but if he goes to and hugs his guy, it's probably a sack or maybe even a pick. And those are the things, he knows it. I mean, he knows what he did wrong. But you see it right here. See, he's looking back at the quarterback, and then they're able to miss. It's nice tackling. And I thought we ran to the ball very well. Those were two solid factors of what we were trying to do. I thought we ran to the ball really nicely. And like right here, we spin back out. You can't see the end zone, but this is on our bandit end. We're blitzing right there, and we spin back outside of things. This is a good job. We checked to cover 2. They try to throw a whole shot. Malik does a good job of being physical and going through the guy, but still not targeting or anything. Got a little blitz coming from the backside. Really nice job right here. But we got to wrap up a little bit better. We fit it up, and they still get 2 or 3 yards. We just got to make sure we do a better job of tackling, something we're going to work on hard this week. Got a blitz. Really good job by Ivan Hogan's right there, coming off his man once he makes contact, making the play on the little tunnel screen that they were trying to run. Thought he did a really nice job there.
Pioneers who lead the game at 20-17 at that particular point. Again, it's just still the big plays. Had a couple of plays negated because of some penalties there for North Greenville, but they come out, and I still think you started keying in on more Ashton Hurd 22. Tracy Scott seemed to be a little bit more of a load in the game.
Well, I think he just got lucky when we busted. I hate to say it like that, but that first play right there, Ivan Hogan's just went down there and smoked him and did a good job. And then we come after him on 2nd and long with a little bear blitz concept, and I think Colton Strickland gets the sack. We're in 2-man right here. We got this is our little speed package. You'll see right as he throws it, Wicker, Gravel, and Antoine Gandy hit him right as he throws it. 2 freshmen that we think are going to be real good players. So we tried to mix it up on them. It was just a situation where you give up 3 big plays for 200 yards and you give up 300 or 410, then you're not going to play very good. And here it is. If you see Jay, he's supposed to be in what we call a combo call, which gets him down near the line of scrimmage as the extra guy. And for some reason, he thought they were going to throw it deep because we had talked all week about out of 21, sometimes they like to take shots. And instead of doing his job, he tried to do somebody else's job. And because of that, we kind of took a beating right there. And those 3 big plays really hurt us.
24-20 with the Tracy Scott touchdown held him in check much of the game. And of course, he ran for over 1,100 yards last year on the season, so he had that type of year, but really settled in. Now with the score at 31-27, North Greenville, you're just fighting to get the football back. And I really think you didn't allow them to run, and what you wanted to do was force Will Hunter to pat that ball a couple of times and get him uncomfortable in the back. The
biggest thing we wanted to do is try to hit Will Hunter. That was the biggest thing, and then change the coverages on him. Play some 2, play some quarters, play some man-free with a rat, 2-man. We wanted to constantly switch up the coverages. Like right here, I think he thought we were in just straight cover 2 and was going to try to hit the hitch. We were in 2-man, so we were in good shape to make the play right there.
One of the things that we didn't show in here is the strip fumble. That I thought that Simon did a really good job coming back, recovering. But you saw the athleticism with somebody like a D. Alford. He's dead to rights 3 times and finds some daylight.
Well, D honestly is probably, knock on wood at this time, probably the most improved player on our football team. He's a guy that's kind of earned a starting spot right now. He started the game and he played a lot, and I think he's just going to get better and better and better. He's a longer guy. He only played 1 year of football. He's a basketball guy that we took out of Spalding County down in or Spalding, Georgia, down there in right south of Atlanta. And he's a really good athlete and a solid kid. And I think the sky's the limit for him because he's just a true sophomore. And that's the thing. Our secondary, you looked out there and we got 1 senior and playing 5 other true sophomores. And hopefully there's a couple other guys we'll get back into the mix in the next week or so that would really kind of up the ante and help us in that situation.
It's a defense, too, that last year against North Greenville allowed 14 of 17 on 3rd down conversions. What a change
Well, we did work very hard on that. 6 of 14, I believe, or 4 of 16, excuse me, which is even better.
Yeah.
I thought we did a really nice job on third down. We worked very, very hard on it. Like I said, you take away the 3 big plays, we play really pretty good defense. And we just told our kids, it's like, listen, when you're playing a good football team, it can't be 3 plays off. It can't be a bust, on 3 plays, and you play the rest of the time good, because they're going to make you pay for it, which they did. Like I said, all hats off to them. I think they got a good quarterback, very good coaches on that staff, and, I think probably after the game they were a little shocked that it was as close as it was. I was not. I thought we were going to win the game going in, and I'm usually not like arrogantly cocky about that. You'll ask me all the time, like, I don't know whether they're going to win or not. I just feel better about this team and who we are, because I think we have a personality. We're going to be an attacking style defense, just going to fly to the ball. We're going to try to make things happen and create havoc. And on offense, we still got to get better in the running game. Obviously, we're going to run it like we want to, but we can throw it now too. So if you're going to pack the box against us, we're going to make you pay. And that they were playing a lot of 1 high early on, and then they kind of switched to 2 high because we were being able to throw the ball, and then that should open up the running game, as we work forward.
I'm not going to say this to put you on the spot. You didn't have Brett Hasty. I thought Hogan's was great new. Cunningham was new, kind of getting a feel for certain things as well. In the game, special teams play, we had a player ejected. We saw it on the field, and it comes back to bite us a little bit, because this is a defensive lineman that I think you were going to rely on in the game, but it wasn't really, I don't think it was verbalized to you what had gone on and how it went on. I guess on social media it blew up just a little bit because we didn't announce it. We didn't realize who was gone and who was out. He comes back in, he plays, and then you were actually penalized for it.
Yeah.
What was some of the communication that you had out of that?
Well, it was Ashton Watson. Ashton's a good player, made a mistake, and they penalized him for it. Well, they came over to me and said, hey, he did this 15-yarder. And I said, well, I'm going to take him out, get him out. I was talking to Jameer and one of my coaches. I said, let's get him out, and we'll go from there. And he said, okay, I appreciate you taking him out. I said, okay. And that was really about it. So I'm mad at him. So I didn't play him for 2 or 3 series because I don't like getting 15-yard penalties. I think it's selfish, and it's something we work very hard on. The kids know how I feel about it. So if they see this on YouTube, they're certainly not going to think anything different. They're going to know exactly what I think about it. But anyway, long story short is Jameer comes up to me and goes, man, we're gassed, because one of our, Britt wasn't playing. We got another kid, freshman guy that we couldn't play this week. So there was a couple guys that we were down. And he goes, I got to be able to put Ashton back in. And I said, all right, he's done his penance. That's exactly what I said. He's done his penance. Put him back in. Let's go. So we're third, that's one of their first downs, by the way, on third down, because we're 3rd and 12. We get off the field. I see the flag, and I asked my official, I said, hey, what's the flag on? They go, somebody's got an illegal player. I'm like, well, it ain't us, because I didn't put anybody illegal out there. And then the guy comes over and goes, 95 is back in the game, coach. He was ejected. I'm like, whoa. You've never told me he was ejected. You told me there's a penalty against him. I said, usually when he's ejected, you guys walk him off the field, and then we have somebody that walks him into our locker room. He changes. He goes in the stands. He can't be anywhere around us. You didn't say anything of that nature. And he looked at me and goes, well, coach, you're right. It's my fault. I'm going to take responsibility for it. Blah, blah, blah. And I said, sir, I appreciate you, saying that you messed up and you're taking responsibility. But last time I checked, you're still walking off that 15-yard penalty on me, for a first down. And they scored on that drive. Yes. They kicked the field goal. And that was frustrating a little bit. Right. But, it was just a miscommunication. They apologized for it. I didn't get really overly mad because what are you going to do? Right. There's nothing I could do about it. I just wish that they had communicated it a little better. It's certainly not like I'd have said, okay, I got to have this guy in the game, my second defensive end, and we're going to cheat to do it. That's not how I roll. And it was very, very, very interesting little thing that went there. The communication was just not real good.
It was the first game for everybody.
That's right.
That's basically what we can put that down for. Again, there's a lot of confusion there, especially up in the box, in the entire press box at that point, because nobody really understood what was going on. As a matter of fact, it had been communicated that it was Jay Boyd who was the one that picked up that penalty and was the one that was disqualified. That's what was going down in the box. A lot of confusion.
Oh, Lord.
Pioneers fall to North Greenville 32-33. We'll come back, we'll meet our players of the week and wrap up the show with Coach Odom. We'll return with more of the Jerry Odom Show.
Premier Transportation. From the moment you step onto any of the motor coaches, it's clear they pay attention to details. They make sure you have the top-of-the-line amenities, the industry's most innovative technology, and the most advanced safety features to ensure every mile of your journey is a smooth one from coast to coast. The Premier Fleet. Escape the ordinary. The journey is half the fun. Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics.
Welcome back into the Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers fall to North Greenville University by a final of 34-33. It's time now to take a look at our players of the week. We'll start on offense with Alex Ogle, our offensive player of the week, the junior out of Hobie Sound, Florida, out of Jensen Beach High School and the Boise State transfer. 22 of 35 for 292 yards, including 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a long of 63. On defense, our defensive player of the week is Matt Simon, the senior out of Lithonia, Georgia, out of Chamblee High School. 6 tackles, 2 for loss, a forced fumble, and 2 pass breakups. For his career now, 99 tackles, 11 of those for loss, including 2 forced fumbles. Our special teams player of the week is Hunter Cantrell, the junior out of Sparta, Tennessee, out of White County High School, a preseason all-conference second-team selection for the Pioneers. He had 6 punts, a 41-yard average, a long of 46, including 1 inside the 20. For his career now, 191 punts, 7,421 yards, second all-time, behind only that of John Gregory's 9,120 yards. Our play of the game, we went defense. It's D. Alford's touchdown return after the fumble.
Pass will be complete. This is Brown. It's a busted coverage. Matt Simon has stripped it free, though, and it's going to be picked up by the Pioneers at the 30, at the 20. On the carry as D. Alford cuts it at the 10. He's going to score. Touchdown, Pioneers! Touchdown, D. Alford, as Matt Simon strips Brown of the ball, and the Pioneers are a point away from tying it.
Let's take a look at your Greenville Light and Power stats of the game. For the Pioneers, 16 first downs, North Greenville's 19. Rushing, Tusculum 61 and North Greenville 177. Passing, 292 for the Pioneers, 307 for the Crusaders. Total offense, 353 for Tusculum and 484 for the Crusaders. Penalties in the game, Tusculum penalized 6 times for 61 yards. The Crusaders 9 times for 107 yards. Time of possession, Tusculum 28-56 and the Crusaders 31-04. Third downs, Tusculum 6 of 14. The Crusaders were just 4 of 16. As mentioned last year, the Crusaders were 14 of 17 on third downs. In the red zone, Tusculum was 2 for 2 in scoring, and the Crusaders were 4 of 5 in scoring on the day. Tusculum Pioneers fall to the Crusaders by a final score of 34-33. Time to turn the page. We look ahead. Our next contest, that's shorter. When we return, Jerry Odom will break down our next contest, September 9th at Pioneer Field. That's when the Jerry Odom Show continues after this.
Creekside Market has 3 locations in southern Greene County to serve. So while you're traveling to or from any game, stop by and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Creekside Market just off the 107. Locations on the Asheville Highway, Camp Creek, and the Irwin Highway. Creekside Markets in Greene County.
We welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show as we welcome back in Coach O. It's a Pioneer team. They'll have their home opener. Looking forward to that. The Orange Wave, I think, is coming up Saturday with fireworks. Shorter, what can you tell us about Shorter?
Shorter played Mars Hill last week. They're a little bit like us, trying to rebuild a little bit. probably a little harder for them because they're trying to go to a pro-style offense or a spread offense from a triple, so they're having to change out a lot of personnel. So they struggled last year. They had several guys. They lost to Marshall last week pretty good, but they had several guys, from what I understand, not get to play for some reason. I don't know the whole thing. I listened to the game and watched it, on their stream, and they had several guys. I don't know if they had clearinghouse or eligibility center issues or what the case may be. That happens occasionally. But anyway, they're big, really big. Got a solid quarterback. He threw for about 270 yards on Mars Hill. Now, Mars Hill threw the ball very well on them, scored a bunch of points, but Mars Hill's good on offense this year. They're very good. Defensively, you're going to see some 4-3, 3-4. You'll see a little bit of exotics from them, but nothing crazy. They're going to roll some, play some 3-roll, some quarters. Your basic stuff. They're more of a 4-2-5 look than a 4-3. It's a team that I think is going to continue to get better. I like their coach. I think he's had a lot of success in Division III before he got hired here Shorter. Seems like a very good guy, and I think he's trying to do things the right way. He's a little bit like us. We're just building it one game at a time. But we're super excited about playing at home, playing at night, 6 o'clock game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's supposed to be great weather. So hopefully we'll have a big crowd come out and support the guys.
Game 1 to game 2, you have your greatest improvements. Let's go offense. Where do you need to see the greatest improvements?
Well, I think the running game, we got to get the running game going where we feel good. We need to feed Maxwell at least 25 times a game. I think Timmy Pratt will probably get more reps. He'd been hurt. He ain't get quite as many reps. Because he'd been dinged up, so we didn't play him much. But I think you'll see him a little bit more. I think I could be more consistent in the offensive line with our pass blocking. Hopefully, we get Keevion back. We'll have to see how he does tomorrow. Defensively, it's don't give up the explosion plays. Be better tacklers, because I thought we could have tackled better. And then, just know your assignment and do your job. Train your eyes. If we'll do those things, then we'll have a good chance to win the football game. If we don't, then it's going to be anybody's ball game. Thank you.
He's Coach Jotv. Tusculum Pioneers take on Shorter for our home opener. It's going on Saturday. Join us on the Pioneer Sports Network. Our coverage will begin at 5 o'clock. We'll kick it off at 6 o'clock again. Pioneer Field come out. Expect to stay late for the fireworks show to follow the game. Many thanks to all of those behind the scenes here from the Pioneer Sports Network. Nick Forsberg, the office of Dom Donnelly, and Nathan Humphrey. Until next Saturday, this Saturday, I should say, we will see you from Pioneer Field. I'm Brian State. Have a great week, Pioneer Nation.
This has been the Jerry Odom Show. The Jerry Odom Show is brought to you in part by your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1947. Sodexo, proud food supplier of Tusculum College. By Creekside Markets. Stop in and pick up a Hunt Brothers pizza today. By Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics. And brought to you in part by Comcast. Join us next time for more Pioneer football on the Jerry Odom Show.